I simply cannot even believe that you got into my Uber wearing all of that weed. Come on, hair hat. What the fuck you at?
Listen, ho, ain't shit. Tell your man that you suck my dick. What? You out of line.
Don't Tommy Sotomayor trying to do a favor for your broke ass.
Freestyling, fuck violent. That's just what I do. See me in my life story. Difficulty. Why we tell our life story?
Talking about Tommy always hating. You know that nigga is simply stating what's going on with the community. And you know he has immunity from all you motherfuckers trying to hate on his ass. And you know, oh, I'm sorry.
Oh man, we out of line 100%. Ladies and gentlemen, we kind of back, I think. I'm not really sure if it's working or not. But, like, I'm looking at the screen now, it look like we real little on that bitch. Like, I don't know what happened. Hell yeah, man, my computer shut down. Got me behind this desk looking straight up like a clown. I almost went to sleep and got some weed. Hit the internet, got a bitch on the knees. I'm a G. Bullshit. I think we might be ready.
Wow, man. You wow.
All right, we got my man Eric on the line. I think we're back. You guys let us know if we're back. Y'all, if we're back, then thank you guys for putting up with my shit, because you guys know once a day this shit will shut the fuck down. I have no idea what this is.
Yes.
Got a little conspiracy theory going here. I think it might be the NSA.
I think it is, man. I think because of my association with the government, that they don't they think that this may be an inroads for you being as great as you need to be. One of my buddies said, "Let people be great," and Tommy, you are being great. You know, with all due respect. And Brian, you know I love you like a play cousin.
It's them Russians that chuck it down. They done got up in this goddamn chuck it down in the Russians. Took it down, working with the Russians and took it down.
But go ahead, Eric. I'm going to let you get the last word as we are back. And what we're talking about right now is, can you have a stable relationship with a broken person? And basically, Eric was letting you guys know before we were so rudely interrupted by my bullshit ass system that no matter how much money I pay for, it keeps going down. What he was saying was, one of the biggest things we're dealing with is, what happens when somebody else breaks us and then we take our broken shit into a new damn relationship? And then we're expecting that person to mend what we broke with someone else. And Eric, I'll let you answer this for me. One of the things that bothers me most about it is that we put that pressure on the other person. Like, did you do that with your current wife? And if you did you apologize to her?
Well, one of the things I didn't do, because like I said, I was in solution-based therapy. Solution-based, like I said, Tommy, this is your wheelhouse, so I won't expound on it too much, but a solution-focused breach therapy is an approach to psychotherapy based on solution building rather than problem solving. Mm-hmm. And so I went through my life prior to getting counseling, thinking about I need to fix problems. I think I told you before, when I had a marriage counselor, she said it's not my job to fix your problems. It's my job to look at what's working, what are best practices, what are current resources you're using, and what are the future hopes that you have, rather than focusing on your present problems. So when I went into this new marriage, I didn't look at my present problems. I looked at future hopes. So we made goals, we set timelines, we had benchmarks, and we moved toward that both individually and corporately. I think that if I had done that, if I had said, look,
3D
I'm broken, my life is dead.
Only ABC 13 has
there?
helping you see and understand weather.
Sorry about that. I
Hello?
decided to play a fucking commercial
okay.
in the middle of my shit.
Yeah. I think if I had went into this marriage saying I need you to fix my problems, that would have been a bigger problem, because I was already holding my life together with baling wire and biblical verses and bubble gum, and I needed to move toward a future hope. And I think that's what individually, when it comes to relationships, and corporately when it comes to Black America, we don't look at the future hope. We look at God, I hate to say this because Tommy, you're gonna crack jokes. We look at holes in the dike and sticking our fingers in the dike instead of looking at the future hope of us having a stable structure. So no, I didn't put that on her. Now, please don't mistake this. There's still a lot of growth that I have individually. My wife had some brokenness with herself, and I thank God that she's being transparent enough to say that I'm speaking for her, that I need to get counseling myself as an individual so that I can move toward a future hope. Now, what we're trying to do is move toward our individual and corporate hopes together, and that's one of the things that's helping us being young in our marriage, not young as people, but young in our marriage. And I'll leave you with this, Tommy. I think one of the things that you are challenged with being a Moses out here, trying to lead people, so to speak, to a better promised land, is that you are dealing with people, my friend, that are broken. Those individuals that are saying, and you can ask Jay, I literally was almost in tears when I saw pictures of your children online. I was like, this doesn't make sense. But I had to realize these people are broken, my friend. They are full of despair. And so when a person cannot look at your beautiful children and not see hope, and they want to tear that down, I think it's almost impossible for that person to be stable. I think it's almost impossible for you to have any type of reconciliation or any type of relationship with those people. I think you're doing I think you're doing the right thing, ignoring them, letting them be in the despair that they're in and moving forward, my friend. And I applaud you for that.
Well, and that's why I said to them, I said, look, if you're trying to get my attention, doing it that way is literally not going to get it. Because what you're saying is, okay, I'm going to say disgusting shit about the best thing in your life to get your attention. And it works with the typical Negro because I'm the typical Negro. That's what people don't understand. When I'm talking about certain things, it's because I fit it. So what I did was realize, because I'm the typical Negro, I have to do opposite of what I'm used to doing. And I think that's what a person who recognizes that they're broken will start doing. They will start realizing everything I do, it's like an episode of Seinfeld. Not sure how many people are Seinfeld fans. But George could not get women to talk to him at all. And then somebody told George, everything that you normally do the opposite. So when he would give a compliment, he'd now say a disparaging remark. When he'd call a woman back, he decided not to call the woman at all. And his luck with women changed just simply because the point was, everything you've been doing prior to this is failing. And I think what a lot of us don't do, because we are creatures of habit, you can be a guy who gets online and tries to holler at 1,000 girls every day and there's no success. But you've gotten so used to that habit of sending out that message and blah, blah, blah. It's more comfortable doing that, like Tim Tebow and his throwing motion. If Tim Tebow could have actually changed his throwing motion, he'd still be in the NFL. But because his brain kept telling him, you've been playing football and throwing like this and having what you deem as success, and in a lot of ways it was success. Every time you get to a point where you start to feel uncomfortable or jumpy in the pocket, you are going to revert back to that which you know, that which is familiar to your body. And many of us are doing that same thing. In relationships, we are reverting back to that which is familiar. We know it's wrong. When we lose our last relationship, we go into the next one saying, you know what, I'm going to fix this. So we're making a concerted effort to fix it. But what happens is, once we see anything that reminds us of something we can't control, when we feel like we're losing control, we go back to what gives us control. Problem is, what gives us control in a lot of instances is things that's detrimental to everything we claim we want.
The one person that has been in every single relationship I've had, Brian and Tommy, is myself.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm the same person in every relationship, and these relationships are unstable, then it would behoove me, look it up, nigga, it would behoove me. Niggas say, why are you talking about horses? No, listen, it will behoove me to look at the chief denominator in each one of those relationships, which is me. And I think black people, we don't do that. And I'm going to leave you with this, and it's going to open up a whole other quagmire. I honestly believe, well, there are five areas that we found in what I do at the Fort Hood Resiliency Campus, that if these individuals are strong in these areas, it will help to shore them up, and they will be able to recognize and replicate those good things in their lives and detect and navigate those bad things in their lives. That is being strong physically, being strong mentally, being strong physically, being strong with their families, and being strong socially. I think when it comes to the black community, we don't have those in proper proportion. We love to talk about God and Jesus, but we fat as hell. We don't know how to talk to people. We don't have social skills, and our families are falling apart. We need to balance ourselves out. In order for me to be less broken, I need to be more balanced. And I would challenge everyone out there to look at the balance in their lives when it comes to those five areas and see how they can shore themselves up in all those five areas.
You know why it's easy for us to go, and thank you, Eric. You know why it's easy for us to go and say we love Jesus and God and be religious? Because these things do not challenge us to have to cooperate with each other. See, when you say you love God, there's no God doesn't come to your house and tell you what to do. You decide what you want to do, and if you don't do it, God doesn't slap you in the face, doesn't kick you out of the house, doesn't charge you any money. God doesn't do anything to you. And human beings work. It's the way you teach children. If they don't see a bad result from what they do, they think nothing happened. When you have God, God allows you to have this invisible teammate that other people are afraid of, so you can throw him at them and say, I'm just going to pray for you. Well, who the fuck are you to pray for me? And you're going to pray for me now that we're having this argument, but you weren't praying for me before we were having this argument? It's easy for them to fall in love. That's why they say Jesus is my husband. It's easy for them to be in love with a husband who doesn't cheat on them, who they won't catch at the club. He ain't texting somebody else. You're running into a bunch of people who are trying to fill that void in that space with something that they know doesn't feel it. But it makes them feel good to beat their chest and act like they have it under control. I think that's the issue. Religion gives black people this false sense of I have control of life. And you don't. And I think that all of us are trying our damnness to have more control over life than we do, because we realize we don't. When we watched the story today of Venus Williams killing somebody. You didn't see that?
Venus Williams killed somebody?
Yes.
Damn, no, I missed that one.
Yeah. She killed a 71-year-old man with her car and then lied about what happened. But so you realize somebody like that can find themselves in that position. Anybody can.
Yeah, right.
I remember the one dude, and he actually handled it very well, but he didn't do any jail time. That was messed up. He ran over this person while he was drunk, killed the dude. What was his name? Dante Stallworth.
Yeah.
Killed a man. Did no time in jail. Just gave him, I think he gave him $2 million. Did not a day in jail. And you're sitting back and you're thinking. So I went at him on Twitter. He said, you know what, you're right. He didn't argue with me. He was like, you're right. So I was like, okay, well, that's okay. But when you have somebody like Serena and Dante, Venus and Dante, are they really going to face the fucking music? And if they don't face the music, are they really going to change? Because I was reading up on Venus. This wasn't her first incident where she had done hit a motherfucker. Do you know this woman had her license and registration suspended simply because she didn't pay off $136 fine? That's when you know you're a person that's just an asshole and you think you're above it. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier, which is, You can't. No, people won't learn if they keep getting past shit. If they keep getting past this, then they're going to keep doing the behavior, because human nature, actually, we have a longing to be put in check. What do you say about that before we go to the next phone call? I think we have a longing to be put in check.
I definitely agree with that. I think that the correlation you made with religion and being in the church, I think that the religion gives people the opportunity and gives them the ability to pick and choose what they want to adhere to and what they want to, disregard. They are able to, because there's nobody there to actually make sure that they're following the laws of the church. They take religion and say, well, I'm going to be this type of person and God going to forgive me for whatever I do anyway. So now I pretty much have free reign to do whatever. Mm-hmm. And then I can comfort myself in all that I do by saying, well, God's the only one who can judge me. He the only one that's going to love me no matter what. So unless you God or you Jesus, you can't tell me nothing. So now you've been able to, on your own, absolve yourself from all responsibility, all accountability whatsoever. And it's like, even in our culture, we do that for people that don't go to church. We do that by just saying, hey, whatever it is that you're doing, we will either be the ones to make an excuse for you. Well, she young, or well, he ain't mean that. Well, he didn't know what he was doing, and he had a troublesome childhood. We will make those excuses for that person to absolve them from responsibility and accountability. Or if you got enough money, you can just buy your way out of it. Mm-hmm. So it's like we are constantly finding ways to absolve ourselves from responsibility and being held accountable for our actions, which leads us further down the rabbit hole of just doing all of those ratchet things that we do and get away with, and we think it's okay. Because it's like what we were saying before, it's like it's one thing to understand what it is that you've done, but it's another thing to be able to accept the responsibility for it and to hold yourself accountable. Because if you holding yourself accountable for what it is that you're doing, then other people don't have to do that. And when you don't do it, that's when other people should step in and make it say, hold on, man, what you doing is wrong. What you doing, I'm not going to let you do in my presence. If we could just start with that in itself, I think that would put us on the track to starting to right this ship that we on. Because right now, it's just everybody do whatever you want to do, and it's all about you and what you want and how you feel is what matters, and there is and it's just total disregard for everything else in life.
Because if you think about sometimes when you're broken, and you'd have to ask yourself, why would Venus Williams, a woman who has all this money, purposely not pay these small bills that they keep asking?
She feels she's above it.
She's above it. She doesn't have to. You don't. Fuck that.
That's beneath me.
Yes, that's for serfs to do. Subjects do this. I don't, and it actually gives them this. I fought the law and I won. Like they feel like that I won. Somebody said Tony Stewart. Tony Stewart motherfucking ran a dude over. On film, ran the motherfucker over on purpose. He keeps saying he didn't. Now, the motherfucker was stupid for going out there yelling at him. But you could see Tony tried to go beside him to scare him and actually ran the man over and spit him out of the back of the car. You know, it's one of them big old cars. Tony Stewart's a NASCAR driver, and they were doing these little, like the Saturday races where they do different kind of cars. He ran the dude over, and the tire was really big on the car. It spit the man out. Wow. And you see this on tape. Now, he was trying to be all sad. I didn't mean to do this, but yes, you did. Because anybody that knows NASCAR, Tony Stewart has been getting away with shit. Getting out of his race car, throwing his helmet at a passerby car. Whenever you have someone who gets away and gets away and gets away, they're going to continue to get away. And people who do this on purpose, what you have to understand is they themselves are broken. And what they are seeking is structure. But what happens is they have no structure because people want money from them, because they're famous, because they're doing all these things. So they're pushing the envelope to actually get the structure because they're seeking that structure. And that's what I think when we're dealing with broken people. You have to watch out for people who in essence, they're seeking structure, and they're pushing up against you to get pushed back. And if you're not a person that pushes back because you think, well, they're a good person, they just need their space, there's not going to be any limit to them pushing you.
Right. I agree.
Let's bring in some more phone calls. 503, caller, you're on the air.
Hello?
Hey.
Hey. So, hi. I'm sorry. Okay, let me stop. Yeah, anyways. I think the problem is that, we live in, I know what you said about religion before, but in all honesty, we live in a spiritual world. And we are having a spiritual warfare every single day. It's a spiritual warfare. And look, the problem is that I hear that, oh, we're broken people and all this. This is not on accident. There are such things as demons, and I know I sound a little crazy, but their mission is to get you to hell, and so they do these things. They play the cards behind your back. You don't see them, but they are manipulating you. They're trying to corrupt you. They're trying to destroy you because they don't have any chance left. They want everyone to go to hell with them because they don't have any chance after they rebelled. I'm telling the truth. They rebelled against God, and so God said they are reserved for judgment forever, and they're trying to get people. And that's just the one thing, Tommy, is like you focus on like being broken and being empty, but I think that they're distracting you from the main thing, and it's just Jesus, and that's our distractions. They're trying to attach us to the world so that we find ourselves attached to the world, so that our focus isn't on Jesus, but it's on the world, things of this world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the lust of everything that is not Jesus. And one day there's going to be a judgment day, so we will all see who was right and who was wrong. But
I gotta stop you. I gotta ask you this question then. At one point, even Jesus focused on the world. Even Jesus cared enough about us to where he wanted to show us the way, and he wanted to save us. So he didn't just say, oh, well, all this stuff is the work of the devil and these demons out here, and they just corrupting the whole world. And so with that being said, I'm just going to let them do what they're going to do. And then when the world is over with, I'm just going to come down and I'm just going to take the ones that were faithful to me. And then that's it. He tried to teach and show everybody what it was to be Christ-like. So at the end of the day, you can't just sit back and just let these people be who they are and live in their debauchery and live in their sinful ways, because that's not Christ-like. So for you to say that, to say, well, we can't worry about them or we can't focus on them, we at least owe it to them to at least give the message and to show them a different opportunity or a different way to change. I think that that's one of the things that's wrong with religion, is that some religions have this thing to where they just want to get their own little sect, and those people that will follow their laws 100% of the way, they're in the clique, and everybody else is not worthy, and they're just outsiders, and they are just the scum of the earth, and they will be judged when judgment days come and will burn in hell for eternity. I don't think that is what Christ's message was. What do you think?
I think that there's a thing called the Book of Life, and if your name is not in it, you don't get. You see, God, He already chose the people who's going to heaven before the world began. So if your name is not in the Book of Life, you don't get to go to heaven anyway.
Let me stop you there, if I can. Then you serve a fucked up God. If He knew who was going to go to heaven before He sent these human beings into a womb, He knew this. That was the biggest thing that made me say I can't be Christian. Because if this man knows all this stuff up front and he's putting innocent people through it, because they are innocent. These babies are born, they had nothing to do with that. They didn't do it. They didn't sin. They didn't do anything bad. They may have been born out of sin. But at the end of the day, when you say, oh, well, we know who going to go to heaven, who going to go to hell. We know all this off top. If you tell me that, then it's very hard for me to follow a God that thought this was okay. It's very hard for me to follow a God that was cool with people dying like this all the time. I want to thank you for the phone call, though, but I'm not a big Jesus fan, but I know who is. And Jesus! Oh my God! And Jesus! And
Mac and Cheetos are back. Cheetos flavor on the outside, creamy mac and cheese on the inside. Only at Burger King.
Why you do it? Why you do it?
You can't tell me about no cheeses. I'm good. Let's see. 803 calling you on the air.
Oh, Jesus. Come on, caller. Tell me something good.
803, you're on the line.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Oh, it's me.
Yes.
I would like to say the show is a pretty good show.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And say hello to both of you, first time caller. I think when you look at a relationship, I think we're all kind of broken in a way.
Okay.
Like for me and my wife, when we first got together, I actually told her that we came from, you would say, a broken family. We both know what's bad, but we have to use common sense to actually say what's good for each other and try to work towards that. And pretty much that's what I look at stuff with life. So, so we all are kind of broken in a way. That's my whole point towards that.
I definitely I can agree with that.
Yeah. But then I asked the question, if we all are kind of broken, I don't know if you remember, I told Brian earlier, I said, don't we all kind of switch positions in the relationship? Like there's sometimes we come home and on that week or that year or that month, we're broken because of life. Life will break us down. But when you walk into a relationship and you haven't fixed the brokenness, I think that's the problem I'm trying to address, brother. Do you think that there's an issue with people who... I think we need to encourage people to be their own mender, to be their own solderer, to be their own... I don't know, whatever word you want to use to correlate with fixing. You have to be your own to make sure that you are in line with what it is that you want before asking other people. We ask people to not cheat on us when we have a diet and we don't mind cheating on that. Like we can't stay true to our exercise program, but we think that somebody's supposed to stay true to us 100%. If you're broken, you can't expect other people to not treat you as a broken person or to not break you, because that's what you are. But many of us are asking other people to mend us, to fix us, and then we're going off on them when they don't.
Well, okay, let's say this. Do you think that, or you would say confidence has to have something to do with that? Because if you don't have confidence in what you believe in and what you want to do, then you can't fix, I guess, yourself.
Well, I don't think you necessarily have to have confidence. I think you have to have willingness. You have to. So it's
and
I think
wherewithal.
the word that we're looking for. I think the word that we're looking for is not fixer upper. It's rehabber. So with that being said, if you are going to be able to rehab something, you have to first be able to assess it and see what's broken and see what needs to be fixed. Because just because, you know, there's a broken part of you, that doesn't mean that you're no good altogether. There's still good things. So it's just like a house that has a bad roof isn't just a bad house. It's a house that just needs a roof repair. So when you can assess that, then it's not necessarily you being able to fix the roof, but you may be able to fix the roof, or you may need to get a roofer. So you have to be able to assess to know those things that you can change about yourself and those things that you may need help in changing about yourself. So it's just like when we were talking about earlier, when Tommy was talking about, you know, being able to stop drinking pop. So you first have to realize that pop is shit and it's no good for you. Once you realize that, now you have to weigh what it is and who you are as a person to say, well, what is it going to take for me to stop drinking pop? Because to just say, well, I'm going to quit cold turkey, which is what a lot of us try to say we do, it's unrealistic. It's an unrealistic expectation to say something that you've been doing pretty much all of your life, you're just going to stop on an instant once you find out that it's bad. No. So what you have to do is you develop a plan is to say, well, what do I need to do to start getting myself off of pop? Well, first, let me start supplementing this pop with water. So I'm going to drink more water, and I'm going to try to drink less pop. And as you do that, you're going to have your ups and downs. You may slip one week, you may slip the next week, but as long as you understand that you have a problem and you're willing to fix it, then that keeps you on the horse. It keeps you on the path, and it keeps you in the process of healing and fixing and rehabbing yourself.
And you have to realize that one of the best ways to run a mile is to not say you're going to run a mile. I don't know if anybody's ever been on a treadmill. You ever say, well, fuck it, I'm going to just start off by running 5 minutes.
Start walking that thing.
Yeah, I'm going to run 5 minutes. That's not too long.
Yeah.
I'm going to run something short. And what happens is, once you get there, you be like, I probably could run 5 more. I think when you say, I drink 10 sodas a day, I'm going to drink 9 tomorrow. Then I'm going to drink 8. What will happen is on that day when you drink 8, you'll come back the next day and be like, I wonder if I can just cut it down to 4 instead of going that slow 1-to-1, because you built the habit and your body is building that habit. What we have to understand the most about us is that we build a habit. Being honest with oneself is a habit that we need to build. That is one of the biggest signs of broken people. We're not honest with ourselves. We blame everybody else. The typical relationship is somebody else fucked me over. How many of you guys out there dating like me who've been perpetually dating hate going on dates? Why? Because every time you go on a date, both of y'all blaming somebody else for the reason y'all single.
Yep. How many times do you go on a date and you both can say to yourself, yeah, you know what? It didn't work out. My last relationship didn't work out, but I had a lot to do with that. I fucked that up. I wasn't the best boyfriend that I could be, or I wasn't the best girlfriend that I could have been. I fell short here. I should have been more supportive. I should have been, a better partner. I should have worked harder on our relationship as opposed to working harder to be what my friends thought I should be.
All right, well, brother.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you the last word, brother.
Oh, well, no, that's it. Thanks for taking the call, and keep up the good work.
Oh, no problem. Thank you so
much. Man, I appreciate you being a first-time caller, man. Make sure you subscribe and like and share.
To all of the stuff that's going on out there, all of our channels, all of our stuff. Make sure you become a part of all of it, because even though we only do this once a week, you can catch my man Brian put up videos on his website, talking on social media, and also I don't know if you provide off-air services like I do on my website at Sotomayor TV. If you'd like to schedule an appointment to talk to me or you can get a consultation or a consultation Either one, you can get them on the line and schedule on the website. That's sotomayortv.com or tommysotomayor.com. Either one will take you there. That's SOTOMAYOR. Looks like Soto and Mayor put together. And then a TV, like television, but shorter. You can go there and find all of this stuff.
And if you're willing to pay enough, it could even be Sotomayor.
Be what they want.
I love cheap plugs.
Yeah, man, you got to put it in there. It's on the website. I rarely talk about it, but it's there. You can go there because people typically find it, so I don't have to talk about it. And I'm pretty booked because it's difficult with everything that I do to do a lot of that as well. But I get I'm not like the Sperminator. I can actually say no. And if you come to me with a problem that I think is stupid, I will say no. I'm like, nah, you a jackass. That's stupid. I want to help you.
Right.
So you need to go somewhere else. But yes, go there and pick that up. There's another 317 number on here. Let's try them. 317, what's up, Indianapolis? Hello, 317. I'm going to hang up on you, 317.
No. That Cleveland boy.
Let's get 319. 319, you're on the air. What's up?
Hello?
Hey.
Hey,
Tommy.
What's going on? You're on the line with me, myself, and Brian, the relationship guru. What's up?
Chilling.
Hey, Brian. I was just... I spoke to you guys probably a few weeks ago when you guys had a show about relationships, and I believe last thing I was talking about was my husband's legacy being more important than the bimbos. So I've been trying to call you guys ever since and catch some shows. I've been kind of busy. My husband and I have been opening up a retail store here in town, so I haven't caught a lot of your shows and stuff, but I'm glad I caught it tonight. So, but anyways, thank you guys for.
Wait a minute.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. Forget about your own business and your family legacy. This shit here is more important. You need to subscribe to this and don't miss no more shows now.
Tommy, trust me. I fully support. I even share your stuff on Facebook all the time. I get in a lot of trouble because of you. So thanks a lot. But I appreciate it because God uses you to bring that out, that fire out in me, because it's too many Christians that's a bunch of hypocrites and cowards these days. And now you got people of the world that don't even believe in God, like you, Milo Yiannopoulos. And these people are willing to tell the truth. And it's time out for that. Casual Christians will become casualties, and I believe that. So, but yeah, so I just appreciate the work you guys do. And Tommy, you're just so awesome. Like, I mean, you're like I always tell my husband, this is like my uncle. So I always call you Uncle Tommy when I'm like, when I'm at the house. But anyways, I was going to speak about this. You guys were talking about broken relationships. I've only had one boyfriend, and I'm married now. I've been married for almost 3 years now. And I've been in the situation where I was in a broken relationship, and I went through hell. By the end of it, I was probably 90 pounds, and I pretty much weigh about 155, 160 on a good day. I'm about 5'8", 5'9" on a good day.
So do me a favor. What made it broken? Because this will answer a lot of the questions. What made it broken? When did you realize it was broken? And who was the one that was causing the brokenness? Was it him, you, or both?
Oh, my goodness. Man, well, definitely I don't put the blame on him, because I believe that I made the choice to be with him. He didn't put a gun up to my head and make me stay with him and make me go through all the drama. Now, I definitely will say that I was a little more stable than him mentally, as far as like he was really crushed about some things he'd done in his past, and he couldn't get over it because he was kind of a bad boy, and he felt like he damaged his family's name and stuff like that. So he had a lot of things he was battling with. But I've never seen myself get this angry in my life. And it just scared me to see this person that I was, and he helped to bring it out of me, but it was really something that was already in me. And it came out during this relationship. I mean, I was kicking down doors like a Power Ranger. I've never seen myself behave this way. I've never been like a violent person or anything. I mean, I've thrown sub sandwiches at this man's head and all type of crazy stuff. But really, I grew up, in a single family home. Mm-hmm. So I believe that's really the cause of I have a wonderful mom. She's awesome, but she's not perfect. And I mean, if you meet her, she seems like she's like a perfect angel. She doesn't curse. She's not really negative. She wouldn't even let me say shut up when I was growing up. So she really tried to instill in us some good values, but still in the end, she had us out of wedlock, and we had to get brought up in a situation that was really tough for all of us. So I realized in that relationship, I thought I knew everything. We moved in together, started playing house. They did old stuff. and I started, I guess you call it emotionally cheating. I don't know. He was like freaking out about it, but I started emotionally cheating with different men that I met. I didn't think it was that bad, but my boyfriend just was not okay with me having these friendly conversations.
Well, because
with
emotional
men
cheating
and
usually leads to physical cheating.
Yes.
Just like an
It
emotional
does.
relationship with somebody. If you have an emotional
Yes.
relationship with someone, you most likely want to express those emotions physically. It's like my daughter. My daughter, when she's like either sad or whatever, she will jump in my arms and hug me. That's her expression of it. And then you can look and see the look on her face. Somebody said it when they saw me do her hair. She seems so at peace when she's in my arms. And she is, like, you can see it in her face. She's at peace. A lot of times when we make love to our mate, and Brian, you actually get to make love to your wife. Me, I'm just fucking hoes, so I'll put it more to you. Isn't that feeling kind of like that you want to give that person? Like sometimes when you guys have sex, it's probably just like, I want to do the aggressive. I want to turn into the mountain lion. Nigga want to get the damn Sword of Omens and be like thunder, and she give you that Thundercat. You be like, oh, like but sometimes you just want to express the love, and that physicality is a part of how you do it. Whether it's just you kiss her, or she wake you up with head in the morning. Ain't that she wanted to do that morning? It's like she felt overwhelming love for you and wanted to express it to you. Is this?
Absolutely, and it's like that's definitely because I've been on both sides of the fence too, just having empty sex as opposed to just actually being able to be with somebody and you have that connection and you have that bond and you get to have different kinds of sex. And you do have those. I know I definitely have those moments where it's just me just being loving and sensual and passionate with my wife. And there are times where I say, okay, I got to beat this thing up on tonight.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, here it comes.
I got punished today.
Yeah. See, and it's like
I got punished today. It was awesome.
Yeah, he's like she wants that too. So it's like it's time that she like, hey, I want you to stand up in this thing on tonight. I'd be like, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? But then there are other times too where, like you said, I want to just be close with her. I want to be sensual with her, and I want to express my love to her that way. Mm-hmm. So, and that's one of the wonderful things about that love and that intimacy that you can have with that person, because it takes time to build that type of intimacy. And when you're able to do that, then it just makes the bond stronger when you can do that.
Mm-hmm. So I can see why he would have a problem with you being emotional. Cheating does typically lead to physical cheating. I
agree.
Go ahead.
I mean, it was like a gentleman from like Italy. It is just silly. But when I look back on it, I wish I did. I wish I would have cheated. I wish I would have like got out of the situation, because it was literally a waste of my time. So, So when I look back on it, I'm glad I kept my morals, but I think to myself, like, that wasn't no real relationship. That was you trying to play house with someone. So it's just a extreme waste of my time when a lot of my girlfriends were traveling the world and stuff, and I'm like being an old maid. So it was just silliness. But you know, I did learn from that situation. I don't blame him because it was we were both broken. And it was my brokenness that kept me in the relationship. I mean, there were times I was begging him not to leave me. One time I chased him like probably 8 miles down the road. I just kept pulling over and hopping out of the car and begging him to come back. And, you know, and he was just, no, I'm not, this is done. I just would not let this man end it. And he had to finally end it. Then I went into the, okay, well, you know, I got that thing. So
I got to stop you. So you have to help me with this.
Okay.
You are running down the street for 8 miles. What is going through your head that where you are able to rationalize that is the thing to do, and you should proceed and go through with this?
My goodness!
What are you telling yourself that allows you to continue on that path? When you're at like mile 3, and you realize, like, I ran 3 miles chasing after this bitch, but I'm gonna keep going.
I can see her explaining this shit. Just running down the street, being like, "Yeah, I'm running down the street, going wherever it leads. Nigga ain't leaving me."
Yeah, Brian. I don't know. Only thing that stopped me was the police. But you know, I lost my virginity when I was 21 to this man. So it's like I had no boyfriends my whole life. I had a lot of crushes. I had a lot of people I crushed on, and I had little church boyfriend and stuff like that when I was 12 and stuff.
So are you saying that it was the power of the vitamin D that led you to proceed to run
his sex wasn't even,
8 mile
triathlon? Wasn't even that awesome, but I wouldn't say it was the sex because like I'm an emotionally sexual person. I'm not just all about getting piped down and stuff. So I connected with him emotionally, but I just had a spiritual soul tie to him, and no matter what, I just didn't want to let it go. He had to let me go. I started like towards the end when I knew he was like done, because I was finding like he was really big on not cheating, but then towards the end I'm finding like Hooter shirts and like tubes that we used to go like when you tube down the river, and I'm finding extra tubes in my house, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? So then towards the end I started to try to keep him with sex. And
so you just gave me a thought. So hang on 1 second. You just gave me a thought. So you said, and I want women to hear this. She said that she had such an emotional bond and such a soul tie to this dude that regardless of what it was, she said, I'm going to stick this out and I'm going to stay with him no matter what. You have to realize that, and women need to hear this. The dudes that you allow inside of you, the dudes that you allow to bond, you allow yourself to bond with and to have that type of soul tie or spiritual tie, just to have that type of experience with somebody, don't make that so meaningless that you're doing it with just anybody, because when you make that tie, it puts your mind into a state to where you will make that decision and rationalize that decision to do some really stupid shit just by saying, no matter what, because I've been with this dude, because I got this emotional bond with this dude. So women, you need to really be careful with who you bond with. Bond with somebody that's worth a fuck, as opposed to just bonding with somebody that can just half-ass give a fuck about you.
Right. If you know somebody named James, bond with him. You know somebody named Barry? Bond with him. He got good bonds. Like, just...
You know somebody named Barra? Bond with him. And you know somebody named Bagum? Bond with him.
you just think about it, I want to say this to all of you. How many times, and I bet this will be your answer, dear, when you chase this person, it was because they're leaving. That's it. You ever been in a club and everybody run one way and you just run with them? You don't know why. You just ran with him. He was running from you. So you ran after him. And it wasn't like he was somebody that was great. And probably when you catch him, because it's happened to me several times, you ever call somebody over and over and be like, don't break up with me, let's stay together. And they be like, okay, we'll stay together. And you be like, why the fuck did I do that? I don't want to be with you anyway. You just did him. Like, you'll be still laying in bed with him and look at him and be like, why the fuck am I still with you? I don't even like you.
What am I doing here?
Am I right?
What am I doing here?
Yep.
That's completely true.
Mm-hmm. And it's because once you bond with that person and you just spend time, when you spend time with a person long enough, they become normal to you. They become familiar with you, and you will stay in it just because you're in it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're so familiar, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of people hate breaking up, because they don't want to start over. They don't want to be that person meeting somebody for the first time, going through all of the what you like, what you don't like, what's your sign, what you like to do, what you used to do. You don't want to go through that, so you'd rather stay with some fuck shit that you kind of used to, even though it's some fuck shit. You kind of stay with that just so you won't put yourself in a position to have to meet somebody new and see what that new person is all about and see what their faults are and what their fuck shit is too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I was just, I don't know what I was thinking, but I just felt that I was going to be committed to him. But after we stayed together almost 3 years, but it was pretty much done after 3 months. The first 3 months in a relationship is when it was 3 months of bliss, and after that it started going down. But we stayed together 3 years, and after 6 months, I never mentioned getting married again, because I was like, oh, I'm not, like, I may be crazy enough to stay with this fool, but I ain't got to, I ain't getting married. Like,
I have a rule with a woman. If the relationship starts to go down more than you do, I'm out.
Well, see, Tommy, that's the thing, though, Tommy, that's the thing, though. As far as sex goes, that was, like, not a problem. Like, sometimes we would even have, like, competitions throughout the day of how much we can do. So that's the thing. That was the tough glue that was even holding us together, was that we were just having sex like rabbits.
You know what's funny about people who fuck
all day long, morning, every day.
I want to say this. You know what's funny? And I was being funny, but you know what's funny about people who fuck a lot? They typically don't trust each other.
What's that?
Because there's nothing else bonding them together, and they know that's the only tie they have, and all it takes is somebody with a better dick or better pussy to break up what they have. That's all you have. If you're the dude who all you do is shoot 3-pointers, if they find a motherfucker that can play defense and shoot a quarter as good as you, they gonna put him in. If they find somebody that he might not be able to shoot as good as you, but he can drive, he can shoot the 3, and he hit his free throws, you got a problem. So I tell this to people all the time, because I've been in a relationship where you fuck so good with somebody. Me and this other girl, like, we would fuck to the point where she was like, I've never heard any noises like that. She was making the most ridiculous sounds when we was having sex. And the problem with that was this. The sex was so good that there was nothing else between us at all. To the point of half of the time when we got through having sex, and I'm going to see if this is something you can relate to. Half the time when we got through having sex, we didn't even like to look at each other. One of us would get the fuck up and walk downstairs, get some water and shit, and never come back. You ever done that? Walk downstairs to get something, and then you just be down there 4 hours? See, you laughing because you know what I'm talking about. Like, the only time you think of it. Listen, I had a girl one time, we was having sex, and I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden, while we was having sex, she started doing this.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, yeah, like I don't know.
Hey, look.
Sound like you had sex with a horse.
Hold up. I gotta say this. Now this is probably this is what
like sex with a horse.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, I had been trying to work in that ever since he said making noises that we ain't never made. So I truly believe that yes, we are related some kind of way. That's when you started it. I said, hey, come on. And I was thinking it 2 minutes before you started it. So yes, my brother here.
But I'm telling you, that right there is the most shallow bond two people can have. Because if you notice somebody that you start off, you say, all we gonna do is fuck. Even then, y'all still try to make it something else because you know if that person's just fucking you, they're fucking somebody else too, or it doesn't take much for them to stop. So you'll come up with some kind of lie and say, let's have a real relationship. When you really don't want to have a real relationship, you don't see them past sex. So when you guys were having that kind of sex, when you have that much, the best relationships are relationships where y'all can lay in the bed and y'all haven't had sex in a week, but y'all just keep holding each other in the bed. You look forward to getting in the bed with them. You look forward to touching them. You look forward to holding them because there's other shit that has bonded you to the point of where you don't even think, wait, we ain't had sex since Saturday. Like, you don't even think that.
Yeah. Exactly. I agree.
It's hard to
I agree. Sometimes that's how it is. Oh, sorry, Tom.
It's hard to have more than just sex with somebody when that's all you see yourself as. When you see yourself as just a sexual object, when you think that the best thing about you is your dick game, the best thing about you is your snapper pussy. If you think that the best thing about you is your bomb ass head game because you spit and slob like no other bitch out here in the game, when that's what you think is the best of you, then it's hard for you to even begin to offer somebody else more than what it is that you think you are the best at.
I agree.
We need more.
I agree. I went through a lot of. It was a pretty pathetic situation. I tell you that. I love telling women my story though because it's like I want women to hear it because it's like y'all don't even realize like who I thought I was. I'm like I'm a Golden Gloves champ. You know, I'm a Iowa State champ. You know, I was a woman that I kind of thought of myself a lot differently than until I got in that relationship and I saw a lot of weaknesses. And you know, so it really humbled me and brought me down when I was at the end of it. I was literally 90 pounds. Everybody was telling me I was looking poor, but I didn't know what they were talking. I'm like, no, I'm not. I was like, I just don't eat as much, you know. But then I would notice that when I'm sitting down, my butt would hurt because my bones were showing on my bottom because I was just stressed. When I'm stressed, I just don't eat. So I just there were days that I just would not eat. And I wasn't realizing that I wasn't eating. And I had to go back home at 3 years later, you know, with my tail between my legs. And, you know, it was humbling, but I like laughed. The crazy thing about it, when it was all done, because you know, the sex stuff stopped working because he was like, you know what? Like, every time we keep having sex, you start this crazy shit again. So, yeah, we can't do this. So when he was finally done with that, I had no choice but to get over because he was just like, as long as I'm around you, we're gonna keep hooking back up. He's like, I have to just stop communicating with you because you just won't stop. Right. So you know, just towards the that's cool that's cool that he was able to recognize it. So what I'm going to do is ask a last question so I can get to some more people, and I want to ask you two to answer it. I'm going to start with you first. A young lady in the chat room asked, which is kind of what we're talking about here on the show to an extent, but she asked the question. She said, is it possible to heal while in a relationship? I'll ask you what your opinion is, dear. Do you think it's possible for an individual to be in a relationship with someone else and yet still get that healing that they did not get
when they weren't with that person?
To be honest, I would say that that's exactly what I was just about to get into towards the end of the relationship. When I was healing, we were together when I started realizing how psychotic I really was as a female. And I needed to go back home and reevaluate and get my stuff together and check myself. And so towards the end of that, I did start to heal. And when I really realized it, I got on my knees and I just started laughing. I literally lifted up my hands to God and I started laughing. I said, okay, God, everybody was right. I shouldn't have been playing house. I'm sitting up here 90 pounds. All my friends are gone because I've been deserted them over the past 3 years. I've been hanging up people's calls and not hanging out with people. And I just felt like a loser. I felt pathetic. And I started to heal right before it was finished, and he wasn't going in that same direction. And we started clashing spiritually because that's when God showed me, okay, now you're ready. Now that you see that these are your mistakes, now I'm ready to work with you. I can work with you because you're accepting responsibility. And once I started getting into my word and actually taking it seriously, and it just started filling me up. And when I would just share things with him, when he would be sad or depressed, I would tell him, like, baby, you shouldn't think about the past and all this. But see, it was too late. The damage was done. I had already kicked doors on this man and threw sandwiches at his head. And his best friend died. I didn't let him go to the funeral because I was being a psycho, and I started crying because I didn't want him to hang out with his friends. It was just stupidness. So by that time, the damage was done. He wasn't trying to hear no religious Christian talk from me when I treated him this way. So it was, and even though he's done a lot of terrible things to me, spitting in my face and stuff like that, but still, I just don't believe that I deserve to do those things back to him. I should have got out of the relationship. So that's what I'll say, Tommy, is that yes, you can heal in the relationship, but it has to be together, because once you start to heal and you're growing, that person is still in that same spot and you're going to class. He's still in the same area he is today because he didn't choose to pick up his life to learn from his mistakes. He's been in relationships his whole life, so he continued that cycle. He's actually paralyzed right now from a motorcycle accident a couple of years ago.
Wait a minute. Hopefully he ain't paralyzed from the waist down. That's ironic. Like, if it is, that's just amazingly ironic.
It would be very ironic. I'm not quite sure because I'm married now, so of course I can't really be checking up on himself like that. But I'm just saying.
Yeah,
so
right.
yes, I mean,
if you're paralyzed, you probably ain't paralyzed from the calf down.
I hope not. That would be messed up if certain things didn't work. I would feel bad for a man.
That's all I'm saying. It's just an ironic thing that you guys had that type of relationship. And I want to thank you for calling. I'm gonna let my man Brian answer this question that was posed, but I think that's a messed up thing, and I'm glad that she was able to find that thing. Brian, do you think that an individual has the ability to heal within a relationship? I think that two broken people, here's my thing, two broken people cannot heal in a relationship. I think that because it's like the two crackheads are not going to stop taking crack. They're going to smoke more crack. Two weed heads, who's in that house to tell them that weed is bad? No one. They think weed is awesome. I think, and that's one of the things that I'm trying to do. I know that I have shortcomings, and I want to change them. I need to be with someone that makes me want to be better. So I don't need to be with someone that tries to get better while I'm with him. I need to be with someone that's better than me, and because I recognize my shortcomings, I think that we could heal or grow together, because one may be less than the other, but we both really, it's just like playing basketball. My daughters, one's younger than the other one, but if they both want to do the same thing, have you ever noticed they get on the same page really quick? Even though one's younger than the other, one's bigger than the other. Venus and Serena, the little one probably got as good as the big one really quick, because she was on the same page. They both wanted to be good at tennis, but the little one had to look at the big one and see how good she was at tennis to reach her first before reaching the goal. So it makes it easier. It goes back to what we were saying. If the goal's here if you start at the bottom and you just look up at the goal, it becomes a daunting task. But if the goal's here and there's a space here and a ledge here, it's like rock climbing. Rock climbing would be real difficult if you've seen a bump. You're like, God, dog. But if you see, oh, there's one there and there's one there and there's one there. Next thing you know, you keep getting up and you look down. You get a little scared, but you're like, fuck, just keep on going. And then you're at the top. And I think that's what happens in relationships. If you can get somebody that is a rung or two above you, but you can reach up and they're trying to get up. So every time they go up, they leave from a rung, you go to that rung and you're reaching higher and faster because you want to get to where they're going. I think that's how you can heal. But what do you think?
I think that if one person is a rehabber and the other person is willing or is in the process of healing, I believe you can do it. If I'm the type of person where I can see that I want to change myself and I have the will to do that, and the person that I'm with has the wherewithal to understand and to see where I'm at and clearly knows how to support me in that process, then it can work. Because if I'm the rehabber and I can see what part I play in rehabbing this person so that they can heal themselves, because I'm not going to want to heal them. I don't have that doctor or that God complex where I'm going to be the one to fix you. Nope. I'm going to be the one that's going to help you in that process to where you can heal. Like you were talking about the two crackheads. If you have a crackhead and then you have somebody who has been 20 years clean, then that person can help that other person go through that process, because that person will see the roadblocks that occur over time, not just in that instant moment of just saying, okay, you quit today, I just quit last week, you're going to have the shakes, and after that, I don't know what the fuck else is going to happen. You're doomed. But when you have somebody who has accomplished and who's been through that and has that experience and that overall just life experience, then they can see where you're going and they can help you. They can help that person navigate through that. They can say, I see that you just quit. You're going to have the shakes, but it's going to get better after that. So that person's not quick to give up. They see that there is a pot of gold at the end of that rainbow. They see that the goal is not only attainable, but there's somebody who's telling them and confirming there is a pot of gold here. Just keep coming. Don't give up. Where you're trying to eventually go, you can get here just like I did. So when you have that person in your life, then you can heal in that relationship because you have somebody who can help you in that journey.
I'm 100% in agreement. And what I want to do, guys, is I want to read something because whenever we are, and I know people were donating, whenever you guys are donating during the show, whatever you guys donate, I split it with Brian because we don't get anything from the channel or anything like that. So what you guys give us is I thank you guys for it. And so I want to read what's been here because I could be a dick and just say I ain't got shit or I'm keeping myself. Fuck that. but I see that people are donating, and that's, I mean, shit. It's what we're doing. It's work that we're doing. So we have a donation from Percy Thomas III, and he said, TG and TW, episode 9 is solid gold. Love the discussion. Then we have another donation from Bobby Emery. You guys know how I love numbers, and this is 777. That's got to be good luck. Watch all the time, Tommy, for 2 years. If I would have come across your videos a year earlier, my daughter possibly would not have been conceived. I'm joking, but dead ass. Appreciate the motivation. See, and that's what I wish that more people could do. Like, we're not saying we don't love our children now that they're here. But we don't want anybody else to go through because that ain't what the fuck we were thinking when that motherfucker called and said I'm missing my period. I wasn't thinking that at all. I love the crap out of my daughter. Now, you know what I was thinking when she said I'm pregnant? Ray Caruth is on the main line. Tell him what you want.
Tell him what you want. Ray Caruth's on the main line.
Tell him what you want.
I said Ray Caruth's on the main line.
Tell him what you want. I was like, I need Ray Caruth now. This bitch pregnant and I need him now.
He's my baby mama killer and I need him now.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, God, this was some horrible shit. Let me read another. Tavis McNeil said, keep up the good work, Tommy and Brian. I'm going to bed. My thumb is worn out from all the blocking on TNN Raw. We blocking motherfuckers as been friends for years. I bet they wondering why. Because you can't read, son of a bitch. Anyway, Christopher Johnson said, TG and TW is fantastic. Thank you, and thanks to Brian as well. Side note, you mentioned Billy Joel earlier. Your parody, Fighting for the Longest Time, is my favorite parody that you've done. That motherfucker is funny, boy. Motherfucker was fighting for the longest time. It just wouldn't stop fighting. Andrew Schaub. Ask the Schaub. He's sending a donation. Thank you, Andrew. Cassandra Colvin said, love from SOOKND67. She's in the chat room. Thank you, dear. We got another donation from Stephen Rowe. Stephen Rowe is out of Norcross, Georgia. Then we got another donation from Lamaris Thompson. Thank you very much. That's all that came through. If you guys would like to donate, the links are in the... No, they're not. Go to sotomayortv.com. Nothing's in the description box, I don't think. People have also been buying my music. That has been awesome. Now, I can't even keep up with how many people have been downloading my shit. That's great. I don't know what to say. Fabrice Coyote donated as well. Not much, but I hope it will help. Keep doing what you're doing. You're an amazing brother. Thank you very much. All right. Let's see if we can go to another phone call here and
Thank y'all for them donations. I appreciate all y'all.
Mm-hmm. That, you know, they be donating. If y'all gonna have us up here, if y'all ain't gonna put out and help us, then that means y'all don't want to see us do nothing. I mean, I put in all this work. I could be out there fixing the car right now, but I ain't.
Changing these tires and these.
I came out to help y'all. I thought I was doing something to help y'all, and then to watch y'all just sit up here and not give me no support, then I'm just gonna say fuck it then. They're killing me with that shit like somebody asked this motherfucker to stalk somebody else. Nobody asked you to do that. You want to get paid to stalk a nigga.
That is the weird shit. Paper. Need a YouTube stalker. Apply here.
I'm gonna say I'm helping y'all. How? By irritating the shit out of somebody else? I'm the coldest thing going. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like you're really saying that there was people who wanted you to irritate the fuck out of somebody. That's what you're saying. Now, I showed up to irritate the fuck out of somebody. That's what I did. Well, anyway. 469, the Goose Drink Wine. What's going on? Talk to me.
Hi, Tommy.
Hey, who's speaking?
Tasha.
Hey, Tasha, you're on the line with the Guru and the Whore. Talk to us.
Hey, Tasha.
I just wanted to comment on... oh, hi, Guru. I love you guys. Y'all are so articulate. I just love you guys so much.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm a broken person. My dad left when I was a baby. I was from a single family mother. Ruined my life. Broke me with my husbands. I was married twice. Divorced twice. I was one of those that was real sneaky, that I would look through your wallet. I trust no man. It was really hard for me, and it still is. So I took myself off the market about 10 years ago. So I don't think broken people need to be in relationships until they're fixed. And even then, there's always that deep-seated problem that's going to bubble up.
The relapse. Remember, one of my favorite movies, which is a bad movie, but it's fun to watch. Like, there are a lot of movies out there that everybody knows they're bad movies, but every time they come on, you watch them. And mine was New Jack City. Well, New Jack City, they took a guy that was a crackhead, and they put him right back around crack.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're like me. Like, yeah, I want to fix myself, but the reason why I don't go to Vegas with any money at all or credit cards, because I have a gambling addiction. And no matter how many times I don't gamble, you know what always is in the back of my mind? The love I get for gambling. It's like being a fat woman. A fat woman is always fat even when she's not fat. She is. Mentally, she's always fat. And she has to be on the lookout for the things that got her fat. because they're there. Remember, if you were something, when you stopped being it, there was still a trigger that made you be that thing, right?
Exactly.
So you have to look out for that trigger. So I'm glad that you 10 years ago, you took yourself off the market. How hard was that? Because it sounds like you might have been somebody like me who I just needed to be under somebody. I'm not going to lie. If I'm asking everybody else to be honest.
I've been married,
Go ahead, talk about it.
I've been married twice. I've been married twice because I have to have a man. I don't want to sleep with a man unless he's my man. And that's the problem. I can't go out and just, do guys because it's not fulfilling to me,
Mm-hmm.
So
I feel the same way. I can't just go out and do guys.
But I warn them. I warn these guys. I'm like, you don't want to mess with me. I'll be up in your business. You're not going to be happy in about a week.
You know when you say that to a guy, you know what you're saying? Technically, in his mind?
Challenge.
Yes. You just laid down the gauntlet. It's time to play the game.
Yeah, and they try a little. They try a little, but then I have to kind of come back and really get them. I've said some pretty mean things to guys on the internet and guys that tried to date me. I try to let's be friends first. This is what I say. Let's be friends. Let's get to know each other. Let's get to even like me, because you might not like me. And then they find out they don't.
Goddamn. Hey, so Tasha, let me ask you this, and I hope you can be transparent with me. Yeah. What is it that you ultimately want from a guy?
Well, I would like to be able to be with somebody who I could totally trust and who is like me. I've got my ways, and I get that, and they'd have to understand that, and that's why I kind of, I want to be friends with the guy first,
So let me ask you this. You said that can put up or deal with your ways. If you've been off the market for 10 years, do your ways work?
Well, I'm better now, I have to say. I mean, I wouldn't dare go through anybody's stuff anymore. I've learned that. I've gotten older, and that's helped a lot, too. There's just really not a lot of men around here, too, and I'm getting older, losing my looks. You know how that goes.
I don't know shit about that.
I kind of do. No, you don't, Tommy. You fine.
You making up shit.
I'll take Tommy and
you. You making up shit, I think.
If you can recognize that about yourself, then what do you think will ultimately be the ultimate goal for you? Because if you just said, well, I know that there's some things about me that I'm changing and there's some things that you're working on, then what do you think is going to be the ultimate thing for you to say, well, are you just going to be off the market for the rest of your life? Or are you going to at least try to position yourself to where you can be with somebody first before you put yourself back on the market?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what sorry, excuse me.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I've taken myself off the market as far as just dating. And, dating scene today is not like it was when I was younger. It's like hookups, and I can't do that. So I have to take myself off of that. And if I meet somebody and we can become friends first and, old school, then I'm in. But that's why I pretty much took myself off the market, because everybody just wants to hit it and quit it.
So I guess my question would be then, if you want to be friends first, then how good of a friend do you think you really are?
That's a good one. I think I'm a really good friend. I'm a good person, and I have friends, but not that way. I've kind of closed that down. So I don't know. It's just I haven't met the right person too. I think too, like y'all were saying earlier, there's broken people. My husbands were broken too, so that's why it never worked. So until I could find the person I think that wasn't broken, I'm out. You're getting me. You're getting good questions, man.
I would say this to you. I would say that keep in mind that, you may feel like you're getting older and you're losing your looks and your girlish figure and all that kind of stuff. That just happens with any and everybody. But there's going to become a point to where it's not going to be about the hit it and quit it, and it's just going to be about the person that you are. So when you get to that person and when you get to that point, then you need to be able to evaluate yourself and look at yourself and who you are as a person. And if what you say is true, that you are a good friend, then you would be a catch at the end of the day. And if it's things like if it's something as small as your body that's holding you back, then that's where your work is, because you're such a great friend. Then now you can say, well, I need to just work on my body, because the person that I meet is going to love me as a friend, and then we'll be able to take it to that next level because I'm going to be such a catch.
Yeah, because I have to be happy with myself before I can be,
Bam!
I
Hey, look
agree.
at that.
Yeah.
Came to that all on your own.
Yeah, you're great.
Well,
Y'all guys, man, I love you. I mean, y'all have helped me a lot. I mean, when I discovered Tommy, I'm trying to tell everybody, I'm white girl from Texas. So, it's kind of,
that's what's up.
when I ran across this, I didn't really like Tommy at first. I was offended. But then when I started listening to him, I was like, oh, my gosh, this guy has got it. He knows it. He knows it all. So there's not much I can really say about, the world, because he's already saying it.
I have a niche.
I just want to say thank you, guys, and I'll let you go.
Thank you. I have a niche. I don't know it all. I don't even know a lot. I just have a niche of shit that I know, and I keep my mind right there. The shit I don't know or don't know nothing about, I kind of try to stay away from it. To me, it just makes more sense if I do that. I want to just not put myself in position to make myself look foolish. 240, caller, you're on the air.
240.
240.
Hello?
Hey.
Tommy.
What's going on? Talk to us.
What's up? This is Jason. What's going on, guys?
Oh, yeah.
yeah. What's up, Brian?
It isn't the Whole Foods whore himself. What's up, my brother?
And right now I'm celibate. I'm in my celibate week.
Mm-hmm.
You're celibate week.
I want to say what?
No, I was laughing at you saying you and your celibate week.
Guys. Yeah, this is my celibate week. I'm kind of tired. I've been up all night with Tommy half the damn week last week, so I got to catch up on my sleep this week. But anyway, I do agree with Tommy. Two broken people just they can't make it, because that was my situation when I was married. And I realized after I got divorced and after I went through counseling and stuff that I was broke before I got into the relationship with my former wife.
Wait a minute. I got to stop you. Because I know that you black, right?
Oh, of course.
So you got to tell me, and you got to tell the audience, what possessed you to not only realize that there were some things wrong about you, but to where you actually went to counseling? Because it's like counseling is like just like a unicorn to black people. We just think that shit don't exist. It's like it's a leprechaun. It just doesn't happen. So what made you actually say that I'm going to go get counseling?
Well, I was getting divorced, and I love my wife dearly. I mean, and I really didn't know what I was actually doing to kind of separate our relationship. And I'm going to take most of the blame. I will take most of the blame. So my mother told me before she passed away, she said, you need to go to counseling, and you need to find a white male counselor that is married. Stay away from black folks, because they don't know about marriage. They don't know about relationship. They don't know about nothing. This is what my mother told me. And this was about 12 years ago, before my mom passed away. She said, make sure you go get a counselor, and that is the criteria for a counselor. And I'm on the phone with my mom, and I'm like, well, why do you think I need to get a white counselor? She said, because black folks don't know how to stay in relationships. She said, look at me. I'm single, 6 kids, and, I didn't know how to stay in relationship because my mother didn't know how to stay in relationship. And this has trickled down into the family, into you, where I can't make you a man, and that's why I told you need to leave here and go be a man. That's when I joined the military, because that was my only option back then. So my mom actually kind of kicked me in the back and told me to do that, and then that's when she explained to me intimacy. And she said she felt bad because she could not show me what intimacy was, because my mom wasn't out running around the town dating everybody. So she could, she told me, you don't know what intimacy is. And I'm like, yeah, it's sex. She's like, no, it's not. She said, the first question you ask your counselor, what is intimacy? And me and Tommy discussed this a couple of weeks ago when I talked to Tommy about, when I braid my daughter's hair and this and that. Hey, Tommy, by the way, the big braids did work out too good. I told you they was going to work out. Big braids. Always go with big braids, Tommy.
One of them make sure she sleeps with her headgear on. The other one be like, fuck it. So now one of them had done got straight, and the other one has like, you know what? I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, always go with the big braids. That's how I used to braid my daughter's hair like that.
Jason, I think that is like just really powerful, man. That the fact that it wasn't a thing to where your mother, she knew that she wanted you to be exposed to something different than what it was that she was already exposing you to. And I think that's where we go wrong in so many of our relationships, and we perpetuate the same bullshit just because we're not willing to just have a flag on the play and shoot a flare up in the air as a distressing. The fact that she was able to tell you, like, look, I want you, and I don't think it was necessarily the thing of just saying white people know what's better or white people know what's good and all that. I think that she wanted to expose you to something that was the complete opposite of the spectrum, so that you could be exposed to something different, not to make you into a white husband, but to expose you to a different culture and the way a different race of people look and view marriage. So it's like, with that being said, I think that that's what she wanted to get to you, and that had a tremendous impact on your life, man, because she was willing to at least do that, to say, well, what I've been teaching you, it ain't good enough for you to be better. So try this. And I like that.
And Brian, I see that today as I gotten older and wiser. And like I told you guys before, me and my ex-wife, she is my best friend. I mean, we are so cool right now. It's like pathetic. I mean, I forgot her birthday one year, long time ago. And I just forgot it was her birthday, honestly. I really, honestly, truly did. I was at home. I was with my daughter. She was away in school. And my daughter was like probably 5 at the time. And I was just being a single parent, being at home. She was military. I had my job as well, and running back and forth. It just got it got to me. And the thing is that's where I saw it start breaking down. And my mom told me this, and that was her only thing that my mother knew I was deeply in love with my ex-wife. She knew that. And she did not want to see us break up. And at the time, my mom was actually terminally ill with cancer, but she never told anybody. So, and I look back at a lot of things. No, she didn't tell me to go to a white couch. She wanted to expose me to a different type of counseling and a different type of information, more information from the other side of the track that I had never ventured on.
So I want to know,
and that's what I see today, and I agree with you. I see that today.
Well, I want to know, because I don't want to cut you. I don't want to cut you off like that, but I do want to know because I want to stick to the subject of us being broken,
right?
And what that would cause us as far as a future relationship. So if we can kind of stay around that, it would be great.
Okay. Well, today I don't trust women. I don't really. I tried to date women, and it just don't go right for me, because
I am more on the intimacy side of a relationship. You know, sex is great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not pushing that off to the side, but I like to spend time. I like to do these certain things. And the women that I meet today in the D.C. area, I don't know what the hell wrong with these women. I'm, you know, I like opening up doors and stuff like that. I think that these women in this area are just like, they don't even know how to accept treatment and you know, from a gentleman. And it's just, most of these women are broke around here, like broke. I thought I was broke. And I'll admit I had issues. I'll admit, yes, I went and got counseling. But I'm telling you, man, this place is crazy.
So let me ask you, this, Jason. Let me ask you this. Do you think that in your brokenness, that even though you recognize it within yourself, that you probably are still like dating the women that are more like you as opposed to being a polar opposite of you? So it's like, you know that, hey, I got problems, I got trust issues with women and all that kind of stuff, but are you still seeking and going after those women that are still like in that vein, or are you doing something completely different with the type of women that you are exposing yourself to?
Well, first off, when I go fish, I use broke bait fish, and I think I keep attracting women that are broken, women that are needy, and that's my bait, and I have to change that, and I know I have to change it, but I to be honest with you, I don't know how to change it. I don't know.
Find somebody that
change my environment.
Find somebody that is totally out of your comfort zone. Somebody that don't give the same traits that you, because at the end of the day, what it is that you're a great hunter at the type of prey that you like. Because you're so experienced, you're a much older dude, so you can hunt your prey that you know that you like. You know what that prey is like, so you get those instant pickup signs, and you see, oh yeah, she got this, or she that type of chick. Yeah, I've seen that before. I know how to come at her. You need to start going after women that seem foreign to you, or may even actually be foreign. Because what those women will do is they will put you in a position to where you're more uncomfortable, which will make you more transparent and more honest. Because once you realize that you're out of your element, you tend to be more honest. You tend to be more of a person that would say, well, all this other bullshit that I've been pulling ain't gonna work here, so let me try to just be honest and see where that gets me.
Yeah, because I try not to be so helpful, and that's one of my problems. I want to help do everything. I want to help fix your car. I want to help fix on your computer. I want to help around your house. I always want to help. And I knew I needed to get out of that as much as I was into it. Because I think I give up too much information as well. And it's just that I think because I'm trying to be honest and upfront and forthcoming, I should say forthcoming, and I think that's where I get clipped at the knees.
Well, I want to say this to you. I want to say this to you. A lot of people think that when they're being so-called upfront that they're, doing favors to the people they're talking to. But a lot of times what a lot of people don't recognize is that you're doing it because you have become addicted to that vulnerable feeling. There are people who have been robbed and they still do things to put themselves in position to get robbed. There are people who've been used, men with money, and they keep on leading with. Here's the thing. If you believe people use you for money and you lead with money, what does that say about you? It says either you think you don't have anything else but money. It's like the woman who said she told people up front that she's difficult. She knows what happens when she says that to a guy. The guy doesn't say, oh, okay, thank you for coming, and I'm going to walk off. He doesn't. He sees it as a challenge. As a matter of fact, he may work harder because she says that. That's why a lot of them do it. That's why a lot of these women will tell that, oh, I don't have sex until 9 months down the road. Because they believe the guy's going to sit there and try to fight them to get it. And then they go through the same old issues. So from the way it sounds, a lot of times you may just be giving out this information to be vulnerable. You like the feeling of being vulnerable.
Yeah, that sounds about right, Tommy. But
and there are plenty of women that like that. There are plenty of women that like the fact that, oh, he's so vulnerable and he's so real, he's so upfront. I'm gonna go ahead and give him this pussy on Tuesday instead of making him wait till next Wednesday.
But he's not giving it from a genuine place. When it's something you want to be, you're not being genuine. When the guy says, I'm tired of people wanting me for money, but he leads with his money, he's not being genuine. We think we are, but we're technically not. And that's what the biggest fight we have is, the one in our own head. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
So I'm sorry, and I didn't want to cut you off because you say things and I have to say something, and I hate cutting you guys off because I know you're telling me, I know you mean well, but what gets me, and I'm asking because I need to know, and maybe this could be a later time that we can have a conversation. Me, Brian, or me and Tommy. Tommy, you too harsh. I think I need Brian. You be harsh.
I'll tell people, if you want to get a more understanding way, that's why I wanted to do this with Brian, because I look at Brian as more of a player's coach, and I look at me as like a Bill Parcells, like, you won't like me until you get old and get ready to die, and then you'll realize what I said was right. I don't get invited to your wedding. I don't get invited to your bar mitzvah. None of that shit.
Brian, no, Tommy, no, I love you to death, Tommy. You a great person, but I think Brian will be more subtle with me, and because I'm the guy that's 50, and I understand, but I would still like to have a partner. I would still like to have somebody that I can chill with and relax with. And my problem, as what you guys been saying, I have to find this median. I have to find out where I am balanced first before I try to go back out there again. Because I got to fix me first. Me is more important than anybody else. And that's what I need to find.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Hey, brother.
Absolutely.
Thank you for the call.
Yeah.
You can give him a last word. Brian.
Yeah, I agree.
And what I want to start doing is probably put, like, on my website where people can come to me. I want to put a link. I don't know if you have anything like that, but I'll put the link underneath mine to where if they want to talk, when they already know how they can come talk to me. But I wanted to have it on the website where they can schedule with you. So if it's something you already have, and I can just put a link there, or if you want me to get my web administrator to help you build that, you just let me know. But people need to be able to get to you and me in the same spot, especially since they keep seeing this. So either way, it's fine with me. But what would you like to say to him? Because he has a lot of things going, and he wants to get a lot of them out. One of the biggest things I would probably tell him to do is to slow down.
I would say I agree with that. I would say, at the end of the day, what you have to do is you because I think that you're at the point to where you're willing to go through the process and you know what you ultimately want. So now it's about mapping out the vision on saying, how do I get there? And you're going to get there by saying those things that you want, those qualities that you want out of a relationship. You have to be able to articulate that to yourself so that you can articulate it to others, and start by just make a simple list of saying, I want a woman that is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and go all the way down the line. And then you have to be able to say, with all those things that you're asking for, all those expectations that you are setting out there, then you need to be able to say, well, how can I help this woman that I'm going to be with to be able to meet those expectations? Can I explain it to her? Can I demonstrate it? And if you can do that, then now you're ready to start meeting people. And when you talk to people, that list you made will forever be in your mind. And as you talk to people, you'll see there are certain people that are going to meet those things in your list, and then there are going to be people that are not. And those are the people that you disconnect from quickly, because you need to make sure that you're spending your time and your energy and your resources on people that are meeting those prerequisites that are put on that list of expectations.
Very good, very good. Let's see if we can answer a couple more phone calls before we get up out of here. I got to make sure these little girls are done. And y'all see that I don't get any sleep. That's why whenever people see me yawning, it's very unprofessional. But I think I've gone almost 36 now. No, it's probably a little over 36. So because the little girls is assholes, I had to get a tag for my car. I had to go and, oh my God, I had to go take a box got delivered to me on an accident. So I had to send that box back to where it was supposed to go. I had a hard day. And then I had one wanted to go to Panda Express. The other one wanted to go to Jamba Juice.
Not to mention the lady at the post office who had to tell you all the wrong things you've been doing with your platform, and you had to change your channel and your style up. It's crazy.
I know, yeah. I saw Chuck It Down. I said, God, Chuck It Down.
Chuck It Down.
I said, God, what you doing here, Chuck It Down? He said, you know I ain't nothing, nigga. I was like, 323. Caller, you got hung up on earlier. Let's see if you can do better this time. What's happening? That nigga sleep again.
No. Cleveland Brown his ass.
God, no, I'm about to get that sound bite, man. I just like it when you do it, though. 828, you're on the line.
Hey, Tommy.
Hey. We hear you.
Hey, it's Creeper.
All right, Creeper, talk to me.
Hey, oh my God. Okay, I've been waiting on the line all fucking night. I gotta let you know, I've been following you for over 2 years, and this is your best show ever. And I want to apologize to your co-host because I'm not familiar with his name or his brand or his channel. And I just subscribed, and I want to. Brian, hi Brian, I'm Creeper.
What's up, Creeper?
I just want to let you know I really appreciate your contribution to the conversation tonight, and this is Tommy Sotomayor's best live stream of all time. And the callers tonight have been especially helpful. I'm taking notes like a motherfucker, and like when this is over, I'm going to watch this at least 11 more times. So I want to chime in with some things that some of the I have my own thing to say, but all the other callers kind of hit various points of it. So I just want to say, it seems like everybody wants us to talk about being the broken one in the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So like I would like to recommend a book. The caller that you had on the show during your technical difficulties with the YouTube upload video thing, okay, was the best caller you've ever had, ever. And please have that dude on your show again and encourage him to start his own channel and his own show and everything else. That dude is lit like a Roman candle, okay? So, like, he says some shit about getting therapy and counseling and stuff, and I want to recommend a book. And it's 144 pages. It's about a quarter-inch thick paperback, okay? Big print, okay? You can read it in a weekend.
What's the book?
It's called How to Be an Adult, okay? It's the most insulting title in the world. I would never have picked it up in a million years if a counselor had not recommended it to me, okay? Well, I was going through the process of the relationship that made me a broken person, if you know what I'm saying. I wasn't broken as a child. I was broken as a 30-year-old adult, okay? So what this book is called How to Be an Adult, and it's written by a guy named David Rico or Richo. I don't know how to say his name. Is Ricco.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got it.
And this book changed my life and how I approach relationships and everything from that point on. I just want to throw that in there. I'm not trying to muddy up the waters with your show and shit, but I'm just telling you, you're on fire tonight, and that is the best book that I ever fucking read about how to be an individual in a relationship with another individual.
Yeah. I think that's probably one of the biggest secrets that is right there in front of us that we don't take a look at, which is when people say I want to get together and become a whole with another person, no, you were a whole when you got with that person. You should have been. And if you bring a whole person there, you guys have to realize we're two different lives that are trying to now coexist. And that's the difference. We're not two people who just decide to shun each other just to become this one person that we didn't even describe what it would be. We didn't write out the rules of who this new person was. And I think that's one of the biggest things that we fail at. We like falling in love, but if we don't like to fall in line, oh, y'all didn't hear me.
Whoa! Ooh, say that one more time.
We like to fall in love.
Say that one more time.
But we don't like to fall in line. And that's because the feeling of getting with somebody, that's the euphoria. We love that feeling. But who the fuck actually sits down and says, if we are going to make this happen, where's the line so we can fall in it? So we can know what we're doing, what we expect. As a matter of fact, most rules just pop up in relationships as the relationship goes. I don't like you slapping ass. Well, you met me at the ass slapping competition. Like, I'm confused. You know what I'm saying? You knew I liked slapping ass. That was my thing. I got SA on my arm. I'm not a gang member. I'm not a Spanish assassin. That was slap ass. And then we start saying, well, I don't feel comfortable with it anymore because. And we always have a reason, but we never feel like that when we're quote unquote falling in love. It only happens when it's time to fall in line. We love to fall in love. We hate to fall in line. It's one of the things that we all fight against. So you can't be in a relationship with somebody, number one, where you're not trying to tell them exactly where the line is. And number two, if you're not trying to respect that person's an individual. I had a person meet me and they knew everything of what I was doing. Nothing changed. I do my business. They don't pay a dime. All the money comes out of my pocket. And they had a problem with how I flirt with people online. I'm like, I flirt with people all the damn time. I flirt with people who call on the phone and I don't even know what they look like. But when I get through, I'm doing what I'm doing. Now, how could you have been okay with it when you were trying to get with me, but not okay with it now that we're doing this? But you never set this up as a rule because the person's afraid that if you tell them when you first meet them, yeah, I met you, you were doing all kind of fuck shit, but if we get in a serious relationship, you can't do it. They're afraid that you haven't gotten their pussy, they haven't gotten their hooks in you, so you're going to walk off.
Yep.
So we conceal our intentions before we reveal them. And that's the problem with relationships. So if we're going to fall in love, we need to learn how to fall in line. But go ahead, bro.
Are you talking to me or are you talking to Brian?
No, I'm talking to you. I know I sound like I heard you trying to talk.
Okay.
Because you got me on speaker or some shit like that, and it's low.
Hold on. I'll fix that. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Okay, is this better?
Yeah, it's a whole lot better. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry about that. The thing about mending broken relationships, you were talking about mending broken individuals before the relationship can be a whole.
Mm-hmm.
How many broken relationships does it take for you to realize that you're a broken participant? An active will. I mean, it's like there comes a point in a man's life where you got to look in the mirror and say, I showed up every day, on time, every time, like a soldier, to get treated like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I told the guy who called before you. I said, man, I'm not going to sit up here and let you say that these people are doing this to you. If you keep moving from person to person and getting the same result, it sounds like you're doing it to yourself.
Exactly. And that's a hard lesson to learn because you have to start, again, looking in the mirror and say, who did this to me first? Where did I learn this? You know, like who taught me to do this to myself? Because I'm obviously filling somebody's shoes here. Somebody did this to me first, and now I'm taking over their job. I'm going to tell you something I wrote down from the previous caller while you were having technical difficulties. It said, the worst relationship I ever had in my life was with myself.
And it is 100% true.
That's some heavy shit, dude.
It's 100% true. The person who disliked us, the person who treated us the worst was us. I tell people all the time, you control a lot of the emotions and things. What we do is we know we don't think we're cute, so we get mad at somebody else for saying it. We try to force them to say something that we don't believe ourselves. Like fat chicks trying to get you to say that they have no problem with, that you have no problem with them being fat, all while they're taking Weight Watchers. Like, why would you want me to say you're fine the way you are, all while you feel bad? You're putting on extra layers of clothes. You're putting on Spank. You're doing everything you can to not look the way you are, but you get mad at me for saying I don't like it?
Hey, can I chime in on that? Because you just said something I've been thinking about all damn day. Okay. Have you ever, either of you, ever, or anybody in the chat room, ever dated a fat girl?
When you say date, I say no.
Right. I'm not saying fucking.
When you
I'm
say
talking about
date,
trying to be
I say no.
boyfriend.
Date.
Are you talking when you say date? Are you saying like going out, or are you saying like meeting my mama?
I don't even take them in public. I've never been seen in public holding hands with a fat chick.
Ryan, high five. The biggest high five, fucking King Kong high five for what you just said. Because I was just laying the fucking lecture on somebody just about 2 days ago about how back in the old school, when you were going to take the relationship to the next step forward, you introduce them to your parents. But today, the first step is introducing them to your kids. Okay?
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
Well, I guess for me, man, I guess my answer would be that I've spent time with the variety type of women of all shapes, colors, and sizes, but there's only been a select few that have actually like been official and like met my people. So I that's the best way that I can answer that.
Yep.
The only thing I let people meet is my meat.
You said what? What you said?
They get to meet my meat. You can meet my meat. That's it. Have a seat.
There's a meeting in my meat room.
There's a meeting in my trousers. I'm just saying, like, so no, but what were you trying to get to when you were saying that, when you were asking that question? I'm curious about the fat question. Go ahead.
Well, because, okay, if you're trying to be a good man and be a good boyfriend to a girl who's got some insecurities about her appearance, okay, for reasons that she has totally control over, but you don't want to make her feel bad about it, right? Okay? And, look, dude, we've all fucked a fat girl just to not hurt her feelings, okay? Anybody that denies it, you ain't got no heart, okay? But you're talking about a girl
I think
that has been...
I think that what you, I'm trying to figure out what you're getting at as far as saying, like, what is the fat girl? I mean, because there are plenty of fat girls. Are you talking about, like, being 20 pounds overweight, or are you talking about being 200? I mean, there are plenty of women that are saying, I consider myself fat.
Dude. No, I don't mean to interrupt. I'm just saying, I totally feel you. I'm not talking about a plump girl, a thick girl, a chubby girl, a girl with curves. I'm talking about a girl that dudes make fun of. Okay, they're gonna set them up for a fake date and dump them. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's been humiliated, and you know what I'm saying? They got this complex. Okay, and they could lose all the weight in the world. They still got that complex. Okay, and it's like you can't tell them anything positive about themselves. You can't tell them a compliment, oh, you're pretty, or you look nice in that dress, or I like those shoes, or whatever the fuck. They're always going to think you're making fun of them. Does anybody identify with what I'm talking about, or else I'll shut up?
No, I can't. I can't identify with that. That's not mine. I mean, 'cause at the end of the day, the women that I've been with, whether they were, not that attractive, or whether they were overweight, or whatever the case may be, when they was with me, they was with me at the end of the day, whether we was at their house or at the show or whatever the case may be. It wasn't a thing of me saying I'm just with this chick who just is like being bullied or picked on or whatever like that. Because even if she with me, then she with me, and ain't nobody gonna pick on if she with me. Plain and simple. That's just because I look at it like as somebody that's with me, that's out in public with me, then that person is a reflection of me. So if somebody is disrespecting a girl that I'm with, if she 20 pounds or 200 pounds overweight, if I'm choosing to be with her, then her being in my presence and being with me, then that's just one of the benefits that she's gonna get, where I'm not gonna put myself in a situation where I gotta, take ridicule because I'm with somebody. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not that type of guy. And there are plenty of guys that aren't like me. I'm not saying that they should be like me. That's just my opinion on how I roll, pretty much.
Damn, dude, you just said so much in a single breath. Oh my God. Okay. I don't even know where to begin with where to respond to that. Thank you for saying that, though. You kind of took the words right out of my mouth. But what I'm saying is, you're talking about being out in public and then somebody humiliating your girl, but then you're also talking about someone that you feel ridiculous standing next to. Okay, I've been through both of those experiences. Okay, and it kind of made me realize some things. Okay, the bar's a little too low. Okay, but at the same time, there's this whole other thing that happens between two human beings when you're alone together. Okay, and somebody's feeling judged and they're feeling discarded. Okay, and it's like you're trying to say, you're not talking about the fucking Sports Illustrated swimsuit model here. You're grasping at straws, trying to think of something positive to say about what they look like, But still, it doesn't matter what you say; they won't hear it. They're always going to think you're making fun of them, or if you're just drudging up some half-assed.
Let me stop you. So I'm saying that's what I'm saying. If it's somebody that I'm with and I'm not even vibing to where that person can't even take a compliment or is having a lot of issues like that, I'm not going to date that person, because that's not going to be good for me. I'm not going to spend my time trying to be with somebody, trying to, if I say, hey man, baby, those shoes look nice, or that dress you got on, it compliments you, it looks good. Not that she looks like a swimsuit model, but the fact that I can just give her a basic compliment and she can't receive that, I'm not going to spend time with somebody like that, because that's somebody who has too much going on for me to take that on. I'm just not able to do that. So that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't necessarily be in that situation to where it's like I'm going to be spending time with somebody that is having those type of issues to where they can't even receive a compliment because they think I'm trying to jive them, or I'm trying to set them up, or I'm joking with them, or I'm just, setting them up for the big letdown. I don't do that. So it's like I wouldn't spend my time and energy on somebody that's in that space, that place in their life.
Okay. And I thank you again for saying that. I'm so glad I just subscribed to your channel, because I want to hear everything else you got to say. Because what you just said was what I was about to say. The best line, as far as being in the club or whatever, you see a girl you like looking at or whatever, and you want to just say something nice to her, but you don't want her, you don't want to give the wrong impression. This isn't just some player bullshit. It's like you just want to say something nice to her, right? The best thing I ever learned to say in my life was, hey, can you take a compliment without tripping? It's worked wonders. Oh, my God. You can pretty much fill in any blank after that and just open it with that. And, wow. So, anyway, I'm just saying, there are... The reason I brought this whole thing up is that, if you've been shit on and fucking ridiculed and humiliated all your fucking life, you start feeling like that fat girl on prom night that nobody asked out, so you're going to the Dunkin' Donuts, for consolation. You know what I'm talking about?
I think I understand what you're saying, and I appreciate the feedback that you gave on that. I think we are kind of saying the same thing, or at least agreeing upon it. So I guess we can say we're on the same page.
Well, I'm just saying, you develop a complex over enough time of being that broken individual who's been mistreated and disregarded and disrespected and every other kind of thing, you start feeling being treated like shit makes you feel like shit. And over a long enough period of time, it starts making you think you are shit. You feel me?
Yeah, I can understand that.
Okay.
All right.
So anyway, regarding being the broken person, that book I just recommended, David Rico or Richo, whatever the fuck, How to Be an Adult, helped me so much get over understanding the distinction between adult behavior and childish behavior, and when I was being the one and when they were being the one, or whatever. It snapped my shit. You're talking about falling in love versus falling in line, okay? That is what that book is about.
Well, I just want to say thank you for the phone call, man, and I just want to leave you with this last thing, man. Don't be ashamed, man, to love a fat girl, man. Everybody needs love, man. So if you got one that you like, man, go ahead, go in, man.
Do that thing.
What the world got to say? It's about what you do and what you do with yourself, man, every day, man. That's what matters, man. So go ahead and love on that big girl, take her out, and enjoy yourself.
And I want to thank you for the call, young man. Yep. I don't know what to do with all these flowers laying around. He was throwing bouquets left and right. I don't know, but I've had fun. We've made it to midnight on the West Coast, 3 o'clock on the East Coast. I want to thank everybody who donated. I think there was one more that came in. There was Calvin Baldwin out of Waldorf, Maryland. Waldorf. I had there's some woman, and I probably plan on doing this. There's a woman who everybody's upset with. I think she's a Hispanic woman because she braids her hair, and other black women were going at this woman. And one of the women who went at her, I invited the woman to come on my show, and I just sent her a message, and I said, I would like to invite you on my show, and I wanted to talk about why they were so upset with that one. The woman's response was, "You realize I'm a black female, right?" When people ask me why I have such a problem with black women, because they're just assholes for no reason. You could ignore my comment. You could have blocked me. You could have said, no, thank you. That would have been the end of it. But you who has a photo and a man and a video and a man who must have seen it in order to reach out to you says, "Hey, would you like to come on my show?" And you say, "You do realize I'm a black woman." So your first comment is to just be sarcastic. And I wrote back, "Seriously? I would have had to known that you were a black woman to seek you on my program." She writes back, "I did. They, T-H-A-Y, I don't know what that means, to analyze your answer and narrow down existing reasons to why you would ask. The majority of your videos are dedicated to either defaming, which people need to know what defame means, or dehumanizing.
How the hell can you defame?
Or dehumanizing black women and or girls. What are your intentions?" I sent her a few of the videos of black women who've been on my show, and we had a good time and enjoyed ourselves. This was her response. She put, "Well, that's because they have no knowledge of self. Desperate people are willing to accept whatever they may receive." I said, "Well, dear, I didn't come at you in a bad way or disrespectful. What I asked was a yes or no question, but it seems like you have some issue with me, so I will not bother you any further. No need for all the extra stuff. Sorry to bother you." She put, "Also, the video described why it's so bothersome. Black people need to rid themselves of dependence on and desperation for acceptance from the European. We can't talk about liberation or independence if we beg for it from our masters." Then she put, "I'm interested if direct payment would be arranged." Now, mind you, this chick did a video when everybody else was doing it, which was a viral one, and her video, and it's been up for like a month, has done like 700 views. I would get you in front of a larger audience. And you told me I need to pay you.
Wow.
Pay you for what?
For what? Thank you.
You have a GoFundMe up where your own audience is not donating to it. I can go to her Instagram right now. One of her Instagram posts says, I need $25 from 11 comrades. Please send it to this. She just posted that up there. Just put it up there. And 7 days ago. And no one sent a dime. So maybe, and she says, in total we need $520 to work on a documentary. So she's doing a documentary for $520.
Must be a short film.
It must be the opening credits.
After school special. Or maybe it's a commercial. It's a trailer for a documentary.
And I'm looking at it and I was like, I did nothing. I did nothing. And it's not China Fox that's doing it. It's not that China Fox chick. It's another black chick because they all jumped on it. And I saw her and I was like, I'd want to talk to her because she's a dark-skinned girl that's a militant, so-called. So I was wanting to know why she would have such a problem with this Latina. And all these black girls came at this Latina to the point of where she apologized for wearing braids. So I was going to do a video about how can y'all force somebody to apologize for wearing braids, but you ain't. And she talked about we shouldn't have to beg from the Europeans. Well, why don't you tell black women to stop walking around in all these damn European weaves? Why not do that? Why try to tell a European they shouldn't try to dress like a black person when in essence we're claiming we fall victim to the European standard of beauty? So didn't they just fall victim to the African standard of beauty if they are doing it? So shouldn't we want their kids and their mind fucked up like our kids' minds are fucked up? Shouldn't we be glad when we see white people trying to act like black folks?
Mm-hmm.
Because isn't that what we claim that white supremacy did to us?
By that logic, yep.
How the fuck you going to argue? And the woman, like, she has really big tits, and most of her posts are about, I have big tits. I think she's a girl that likes girls, but she knows just to grow an audience. I'll just keep showing my tits. Like her last Instagram photo is her with her tits kind of out and her pussy out. And it just says, just to make them mad. And the video in which she was even going off on that girl, she made her tits look huge, like they were sitting up like that. And somebody wrote in the comment section, maybe if you didn't show your tits, we could concentrate and pay attention to what you were saying and take you seriously. And I was going.
But my thing is though, if she's so pro-black, then that would mean that she's against the white stereotypes that have been placed on black people since the days of slavery, where our women were looked at only as sex objects and handmaidens. Ooh. Why would she prop herself up with her breasts being at the forefront of her picture, which would then objectify or therefore accentuate her breasts, thus making her a sexual object?
Yep. Because she said some people are desperate and would do anything to come on my show, and I was showing her the black women who've been on my show and we had good conversations. But you're showing your tits on YouTube videos. So aren't you just the same? And matter of fact, you're worse because you're doing it for anybody. White, black, green, whatever the fuck. You want anybody, as long as someone will see you. And I just think it's crazy when y'all all say the stuff that y'all say about me, and these women can't even carry themselves with respect. All I did was say, how would you like to come on my show? The next question, if you just wanted to know, would have been, what would be the subject? Well, if I come on your show, I will not accept X, Y, Z. Remember what I said. In love, in line. All she had to do was say what I will and will not accept, and we're good. We could have had that conversation every time. When I had Aries on the show, it was just, I'm in Israel. Our times are different. You'll probably have to do it when I get up, and I said fine. Now, there were some questions I asked him he didn't want to answer, but he still stayed respectful. I don't understand why we can't do that. Why would you say to somebody who may view things different than you, and if you're such a militant and whatever, that was your perfect opportune time to talk to me, the coon?
My thing is this. If you are so confident,
yep,
and if you believe so deeply and passionate in what it is that you stand for and your message, you would be chomping at the bit to have the opportunity to totally debunk everything that you have been saying about women and black women and all the pro-black community. I would, if I was her, I would take that opportunity to say, well, this is my chance.
You know it.
So yeah, I'll come on your show. Let's do it. When you want to do it, let's set it up. Let's do it. Let's go all the way. Let's do the whole nine. If that's really what you are truly confident in, and what, if you can stand in that truth and say this is what's true and you can't knock it, you would do it. But because it's a hustle.
Yep.
You still hustling your own people with bullshit. And at the end of the day, that's why I'm not a pro-black dude. I'm not a Black Lives Matter dude. I'm a people matter. I'm a pro-people dude. I'm about everybody being a better person. Period. Because just because of the color of your skin don't make you less than or greater than me or anybody else. Mm-hmm. And it's like that whole thing of just saying, well, black people was the first this, we were the original that. What does that have to do with today and who you are as a person and what you doing to affect the lives of the world, to affect change in your own community and in your own life? What does that have to do with that? And when you can relate that to me, then I can understand it. But until then, you hustling.
Yeah, and that's how I view it. To go back to finish it off with this, I'm going to leave it with saying this. Do I believe you can have a stable relationship with broken individuals? Well, I think anything's possible. As Kevin Garnett would say, anything's possible! But the real question is, why would one want to put themselves through something that is more difficult just because they can put themselves through something that is more difficult? Would it not be better for you and everyone around you if you just decided to make things as easy as possible on you, your vision, and your life? If you do that, it makes it a lot easier for you to reach your goals, because what you're doing is trying to not always take the path of least resistance. But when you're incorporating somebody else into your life, I think you actually should take the path of least resistance. I think there's no reason. It's hard enough to incorporate someone into your life. Why would you want to incorporate someone into your life that doesn't even know how to incorporate the things that they want into their own lives?
I agree 100%. I think that I guess my thing that I want to leave people with is, when you look at who you are as a person, everybody has something about them that is broken or that could use some strengthening, a little sprucing up, fresh coat of paint here, a refreshed piece of wood there, some extra concrete here, a new roof, whatever it is. Everybody has room for improvement. You have to realize that the improvement that everybody needs, the improvement that everybody should ultimately want, it doesn't always have to come directly from you. It can come from others that are around you. It can come from those that have come before you. It can come from those that are even coming after you. We all have something of value to offer each other. We all have something that we can learn from each other. It's just a matter of us being open-minded enough to say, I want to receive something from you because I believe that there's something in you that is of value. And when you can look at each other that way, when you can look at life that way, that's when you're you put yourself in a position to where you are organic and you're always growing, always changing, and always evolving for the better. Then that is what this thing that we do is all about. That's the things that the people that support this movement, that's what it's all about. I want everybody to be a better person. I just don't want myself, or I just don't want those that are broken that we talking about and we calling out. I just don't want those to be. I want everybody to be better that sees and hears this message. Whether you watching this or whether you watching my channel or Tommy's channel, everything that we do is for somebody else to learn from, to either not make that mistake, or those that have made that mistake to learn from that mistake and to elevate from it. So at the end of the day, keep this whole thing of life is not about being a you thing. It's about being an us thing. Because everything that you are and everything that you aren't, somebody else is and somebody else can be. So take that and value that to say, well, we are all worth it, man. We are all worth it. From the dirtiest, grimiest motherfucker you know to the best example of a person that you know. Everybody is giving you an example of either what to do or what not to do. And it's up to you to take the good and learn from it, and take the bad and learn from it too, and then help somebody else with it, man.
Yeah. Man, that's deep. Hey, everybody out there, do me a favor. We stayed here with you guys for a long time, and I enjoyed myself. And I'd imagine that Brian did too. And what we really need you to do.
Hell yes.
I think that what you guys really need to do is to take life into your own hands. Life is short, it's fleeting, and I remember when I didn't have gray hair, and I remember when my back didn't hurt when I woke up in the morning. All these things seem like they were yesterday. We can't spend our days trying to fix someone else when the hardest thing is fixing ourselves. Why not be with someone that makes you feel like life is a little bit easier? Don't take on someone else's problems. Don't take on someone else's stress. Don't take on someone else's pain. You may feel like you're being like Jesus and you're sacrificing for the greater good. But in many ways, you're just sacrificing for something that's inevitable. Life is hard enough by yourself. Don't add to the problem. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Relationship Rehab channel. Make sure you guys reach out to my man Brian. I love doing the shows with him. I'm very sorry, y'all. I'm usually, guys, I have more energy than this, but I'm like on my last leg. It just feels weird to be this tired. I am going to try my best to become a better person. Every day I get up, I just want to do something a little bit better, because I know I have eyes on me. And even though I don't feel like I'm anybody's role model, I do believe that if you can help someone, if you can show a better example and someone can change their lives, then you owe it to yourself and to your community to be able to affect that change. So I think that's what we're doing here. And I want to thank you, Brian.
As always, man, I thank you for giving me this opportunity to be with everybody here, man. I personally will never take this for granted. Being able to be on this platform with you, being able to share with the people that are in Soto Nation, the people that call, and to just be able to express myself and just to give what it is that I have that's in me to somebody else. It is priceless. It's priceless. And I will never, ever take that for granted. Because at the end of the day, all of these things that I have done and been able to do, you talk about being a role model. You were, at the end of the day, for me, an inspiration. You gave me the confidence to do what it is that I do now, to help other people. And when I see other people in the chat and I see other people in the emails and I see you guys keep me going and you keep giving me the confidence to get up and do it every single day, even when I'm tired. I can't do 36 hours like you, but at the end of the day, I aspire to be able to do that. Man. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, and it's a great moment, to be able to be in this moment and to recognize that, as opposed to just say, oh man, it's so fun, we laughed, and to be able to be here in this moment. And I appreciate the fact that I can recognize the opportunity that I have and the moment that I'm having with everybody here, and to be able to say, had it not been for you to give me that opportunity, I wouldn't be here. I appreciate it, and I will never take it for granted, man.
I tell you what, brother, you are my brother. I will continue to say it, and I love you, man, and I love all of you guys, because you take time out of your day to let us ramble about and try to search for solutions to the simple problem of human interaction. It is one that will never be solved, but it is one that can be eased. And if I can do something, or if Brian can do something, or if anybody out there can do something to ease that gauntlet of human interaction, then I feel blessed to be able to do it. And I feel joy that it does something. So I want to say thank you guys. Everybody, subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends about it. If you like it, subscribe. Tell people about it. Come back once a week. And remember, if you can't tell anybody else about it, you can tell Jesus.
That's what I'm talking about.
You can tell Jesus, damn it. You can tell Jesus.
Want you.
Mac and Cheetos are back. Cheetos flavor on the outside, creamy mac and cheese on the inside. Only at Burger King.
And we are out, people. Good night.
Oh, Jesus.
Good night, Suge Knight.